My mom left me at a train station as a joke. They laughed and bet $2,000 if I could make it back alone. They were laughing. That's the first thing I remember. Not the cold metal bench, not the smell of diesel and cheap noodles drifting through the station. Not even the way my stomach twisted when I realized my mom's car was already gone. Just laughter. 2000 says she cries in 10 minutes. I froze. At first, I thought I heard it wrong. Maybe they were talking about someone else, someone weaker, someone not me. But then I heard my mom's voice. Please, 5 minutes max. She's always been soft. Soft. That word hit harder than anything else. I slowly turned around, my fingers tightening around the strap of my backpack. They were still standing there, my mom and her friends, leaning against the hood of her car like this was some kind of backyard barbecue. Not this. Not leaving your daughter alone in a crowded train station. Wait, you're serious? I asked. They looked at me like I had just told a joke. Oh, relax, my mom said, weaving her hand like she was shooing away a fly. It's just a game. You'll take the train, switch once, and make it home. Easy. Easy? I had never even taken a train alone before. You didn't even tell me where to go, I said, my voice cracking despite everything I was doing to hold it steady. One of her friends laughed. See, I told you, she's already panicking. I'm not panicking, I snapped, even though my heart was racing so hard I could hear it in my ears. My mom rolled her eyes. Oh my God, don't be dramatic. Your phone works, right?
I checked my pocket. No phone. I looked up slowly. Where's my phone? She smiled. That smug, knowing smile that suddenly made everything feel wrong. Had to make it fair, she said. No GPS. My chest went cold. So, you're just leaving me here? I whispered. No answer. Instead, she turned to her friend. You said 10 minutes, right? Start the timer now. And then she got into the car. For a second, just one, I thought she'd stop. That she'd laugh and say this had all gone too far. That she'd roll down the window and tell me to get in. She didn't. The engine started, the doors locked, and just like that, she drove away. I stood there, watching the car disappear into traffic, my brain refusing to catch up with what had just happened. Was this real? Was my own mother seriously betting money on whether I could make it home alone? I swallowed hard, blinking fast as the noise of the station rushed back in around me. Announcements echoing overhead, people dragging suitcases, strangers brushing past like I didn't exist. No phone, no directions, no one coming back. Okay, I whispered to myself. Okay, you're fine. Was I? I didn't even know which train went in the right direction. I walked toward the nearest map, trying to ignore the way my hands were shaking. The lines and names blurred together, unfamiliar and overwhelming. Excuse me? I said to a man standing nearby. Can you tell me how to get to... I stopped. I didn't even know my full route home, just the general area. Great, real smart, Mom. I let out a shaky breath, forcing myself to think. I wasn't going to cry. Not for them, not for their stupid bet. If they wanted a show, they weren't getting one. But then, I heard something behind me. Laughter. The same kind. I turned slightly, and my stomach dropped. Two of my mom's friends were still there, watching me, filming. Oh my God, one of them whispered loudly. Look at her face. She has no idea what she's doing. My face burned. This wasn't just a bet. This was entertainment. For them. For everyone. I clenched my jaw, my nails digging into my palm. Fine. You want a show? I'll give you one, but not the one you're expecting. I turned back to the map, forcing myself to focus, to piece together a plan from scraps of memory and instinct. One train, then another. I could do this. I had to. Because the moment I stepped onto that first train, I realized something that made my chest tighten even more than before. If I got on the wrong one, I might not make it back at all.
I got on the train anyway. Bad decision? Yeah. But standing there while they filmed me like some kind of joke felt worse. The doors slid shut behind me with a sharp click, the kind that sounds final, like there's no undo button. I grabbed the nearest pole, trying to look like I belonged there, like I'd done this 100 times before. I hadn't. Next stop, the announcement crackled overhead, cutting out halfway through. Perfect. Even the train didn't want to help me. I glanced around. People were minding their own business. Headphones in, eyes down, scrolling through their lives like I didn't exist. Good. That meant no one was watching me panic. I moved toward the window, pretending to check my reflection while I actually tried to read the station names flashing past. 1 stop? 2 stops? 3? Wait. None of these names looked familiar. My stomach dropped. No, I whispered under my breath. I rushed to the map posted above the door, scanning it quickly. My eyes darted from line to line, trying to match anything I remembered. Nothing. I was on the wrong train. Of course I was. I laughed quietly, but it didn't sound like me. It sounded tight, like something was cracking underneath. Okay, I said to myself. Next stop, get off. Easy. But when the train slowed again, something felt off. The platform outside was nearly empty.
Dim lights, graffiti on the walls, not the busy, crowded stations I'd passed before. The doors opened with a hiss. I hesitated. Get off or stay on? Make a choice, I muttered. So I stepped out. The doors closed behind me instantly, and just like that, the train was gone. And I was alone. Completely. The silence hit first. No chatter, no footsteps, just the faint hum of electricity and the distant echo of something dripping. Okay, I whispered, wrapping my arms around myself. Still fine, still fine. Was I convincing myself? Not even a little. I walked toward the stairs, my footsteps sounding way too loud in the empty station. Halfway up, hey, I froze. Slowly, I turned around. There was a man leaning against the wall near the vending machine. I hadn't even noticed him before. He smiled. Not a friendly smile, the kind that lingers too long. You look lost, he said. My heart slammed against my ribs. I'm not, I replied quickly. He pushed himself off the wall and took a few steps closer. You sure about that? Every instinct I had screamed at me to move now. I just got off at the wrong stop, I said, backing up slightly. I'm leaving. Relax, he said, raising his hands like he was harmless. I can help you. Yeah, no. I shook my head. I'm good. Another step closer. Too close.
You don't even know where you are, he said softly. And that's when it hit me. He was right. I didn't. No phone, no map, no one waiting for me. For the first time since my mom drove away, fear really settled in. This wasn't a game anymore. This was real. I said I'm fine, I snapped, my voice sharper now, trying to sound braver than I felt. His smile faded just a little. Suit yourself. But he didn't move away. If anything, he stayed exactly where he was, watching, waiting. I turned quickly and took the stairs 2 at a time, my chest tight, my breath coming faster with every step. Don't run. Don't look scared. Just move. I reached the top and pushed through the exit doors, only to stop dead in my tracks. It was dark. Not just evening. Dark. The kind that swallows everything. And the street outside? Empty. No cars. No people. Nothing. I turned back toward the station entrance and saw him. Standing there. Closer than before. "How about that help now?" he asked. My pulse exploded in my ears. This was bad. This was really bad. And suddenly, getting home wasn't the only thing I needed to worry about anymore. What would you do? Trust a stranger? Or risk walking into the dark alone? I didn't answer him. Not because I was brave. Because I finally understood something. This wasn't a choice between help and no help. It was a choice between staying in control or losing it completely. So I ran. Not full sprint. Not panic. Controlled. Fast. I turned left the second I hit the street, my footsteps sharp against the pavement. I didn't look back. Not yet. Looking back slows you down. "Hey!" he called. Yeah. Definitely not safe. I picked up my pace, my heart hammering, every nerve in my body lit up. Think. I needed light. People. Noise. Anything. The street ahead curved slightly, and for a terrifying second, it looked just as empty as the one behind me. Then I saw it. A small convenience store. Lights on. Open. I pushed harder, my legs burning as I crossed the street without even checking for cars. "Miss? You okay?" Someone shouted as I burst through the door. "I need help," I said immediately, my voice shaking now that I was inside, now that I could finally breathe. The man behind the counter frowned, stepping forward. "What happened?" "There's someone outside," I said, glancing over my shoulder. "He followed me from the station." The man's expression changed instantly. He walked toward the door, peered outside, then locked it. "He's gone," he said after a moment. "But you did the right thing coming in." My knees felt weak. Gone? Or just waiting somewhere I couldn't see? "Can I use your phone?" I asked. Of course. I grabbed it with both hands like it was oxygen. My fingers hovered over the keypad. Who do I call? Not my mom. Not after this. Instead, I called my aunt, the only person in my family who never treated me like a joke. She picked up on the second ring. "Hey, sweetie. I need help," I said, my voice breaking despite everything I'd held in until now. There was a pause. Then her tone changed completely. "Where are you?" I explained everything in rushed, uneven sentences. The station, the train, the man. I didn't mention the bet. Not yet. "I'm coming," she said immediately. "Stay inside. Don't go anywhere." "I won't." The next 20 minutes felt like hours. Every time the door rattled slightly from the wind, my heart jumped. Every shadow outside made me tense. But he didn't come back. And eventually, headlights pulled up outside. My aunt. I've never moved so fast in my life. I ran out the second she stepped out of the car, and she pulled me into a tight hug before I could even speak. "You're okay," she murmured. "You're okay." I nodded against her shoulder. But something inside me had already changed. I wasn't the same girl my mom dropped off anymore. Not even close. We didn't go home. Not right away. Instead, my aunt drove straight to my house, where my mom was. Laughing. Still. With the same friends. Like nothing had happened. Like I wasn't out there alone, scared, figuring out how to survive something she turned into a joke. The second I walked in, the room went quiet. "Oh, look," one of them said. "She made it." My mom smirked. "Took you long enough." That was it. No concern, no apology, nothing. Just disappointment that I hadn't performed better in her little game. Something cold settled in my chest. "You owe her money," one of the friends said, nudging my mom. Yeah, she sighed. "Guess you lasted longer than I thought." I looked at her, really looked at her. And for the first time in my life, I didn't see my mom. I saw a stranger. "You left me," I said quietly. She rolled her eyes. "Oh my God, here we go." At a train station with no phone. It was a joke. I got on the wrong train. She shrugged. "But you figured it out, didn't you?" I laughed. But this time, it didn't crack. It didn't shake. It was steady. "Yeah," I said. I did. I reached into my bag, pulled out the small camera one of her friends had shoved near me earlier. Still recording. Their laughter, their bet, her voice, everything. I figured it out, and so will everyone else. The room went silent. Completely. My mom's smile faded for the first time that night. "You wouldn't. Watch me. Because this wasn't just cruel. It was proof. And I was done being their entertainment." I turned and walked out with my aunt, leaving behind the only thing I needed to leave behind. Her. Tell me honestly, would you forgive her after that, or walk away for good? And if this story got your heart racing even a little, make sure you like and subscribe, because stories like this only get deeper.